you ask me, hey, Uncle Brad, what do you think's going to happen? We've talked about it every day.
We have.
With immigration reform. And I said, Joe Biden, the Democrats, all talk. We're going to be lucky if the DREAM Act passes. I always said I believe the DREAM Act is going to pass. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe farm workers, maybe small chance of essential workers. Other than that, I said we're out of luck. Mm-hmm. Now, today, two things happened. The infrastructure bill passed. That was a bipartisan bill by both the Republicans and Democrats, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, what's in it. But that passed. And now it's for Congress to pass a budget. To pass a budget, they don't need the 60 senators. We've talked about this month after month after month. You know, you need 60 senators to pass anything in a Congress, except for a budget. A budget for the United States, which has to go into effect on October 1st. The government runs October to October. The budget can be passed with 50 votes and Vice President Kamala Harris with the 51st vote. So one of the things that the Democrats were talking about, but I thought it was going to be all talk and no action, was that they were going to do what's called a budget reconciliation, where all 50 Democrats in the Senate are going to get together and pass a package for the budget. Now, if they want to add any goodies into this reconciliation, like immigration reform or like environmental reform, we're talking about immigration right now, though, it has to be done in a way in which money is being spent or money is being raised, because it has to be part of a budget. It just can't be a standalone bill.
Right.
And I had believed, based on what I was reading and what I was listening to, was that in the reconciliation package, they were going to do something for the Dreamers. And then it was going to end there, because they did not have the votes, the Democratic votes, both moderate and progressives, to pass the reconciliation with a full immigration package. Lo and behold, to my surprise and my extreme beyond extreme happiness, I was wrong. I woke up this morning to news articles that they have passed or will shortly be passing a budget resolution in the Senate. It is a blueprint. It is not specifics. So when you're asking me who's going to be included, who is not going to be included, we don't know the answer yet. This is what we know. Listen very, very carefully. They are going to pass a budget reconciliation. Apparently, they have all 50 Democratic senators on board for this budget reconciliation. The budget is going to increase by $3.5 trillion. There is going to be a lot of things for a lot of people. If you are somebody who is a high earner, your taxes will go up. Unfortunately, Yo-Yo, my taxes are going to go up.
Oh.
I'm happy to pay those taxes because we're going to be doing a lot of good for a lot of people. Corporations' taxes are going to go up. People's who are in the stock market and earn capital gains, their taxes are going to go up as well. Now, what is in it for immigration? They are going to budget $107 billion to putting together a package for a pathway to green cards for millions and millions and millions and millions of people.
Wow.
10 million, 11 million, whatever they estimate, it's going to be double or triple.
Wow.
Because they have underestimated the undocumented population in the United States for 30 years.
Right.
But whatever it is, apparently they are going to budget $107 billion to a pathway for undocumented immigrants. Who is in that pathway? Who will be included? Who won't be? We don't know the answers to that yet. When will we know the answers? On or around September 15th. Why? Because that's when Chuck Schumer said he wants to have a final vote on the budget reconciliation. The way it works is they do a vote now where they just give an overall arching $3.5 trillion. Now the fine print happens. They got to do the fine print. Where does this $107 billion go to? How is it being spent? That is going to be negotiated over the next 30 days. It has to not only be negotiated with the senators and the Democratic senators. This is a Democratic Senate and Democratic House of Representatives negotiation. This has nothing to do with Republicans. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump, nothing to do with Mitch McConnell, nothing to do with anything pumpkin-oriented. This is a Democratic negotiation, a negotiation within the Democratic Party. Because what they're going to do is they are going to be able to pass this budget reconciliation with 50 Democratic senators and Kamala Harris voting for the 51st vote. And then this, whatever package passes the Senate, has to pass verbatim, word for word, in the House of Representatives. Can't change. They only have 4 Democratic votes in the positive in the House of Representatives, meaning that only 4 Democrats, House of Representatives, can vote against the budget resolution and still be able to pass the entire budget reconciliation. I said resolution reconciliation. So this is going to be a negotiation amongst Democrats in the Democratic Party. So who do you got? You got progressives who want to legalize everybody. You have moderates who have to be very careful about how they do immigration reform because they have to go back to their constituents and they want to make sure that they get voted in again. They don't want to lose their election in 2 years or 4 years or 6 years. So part of this is absolutely going to be a negotiation between everybody gets a green card, some people get a green card, most people get a green card. How many hurdles do we have to make people jump through? We don't want to make it too easy because the moderates have to show that they were a little tough on immigration. They have to put a lot of money into border security to show they're stopping people at the border. It's going to be a huge negotiation. Eventually, who is included in this tent of people who are going to get an amnesty, who are not? But as of today, it is a new ball game. The budget reconciliation is going to pass with $107 billion dedicated to an amnesty program. What's in the amnesty program? We don't know. We're going to find out very soon, on or around September 15th. I'm sure over time, over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we'll see in the news what's happening. I can take guesses on what it's going to be. Certainly going to be DREAM Act. You know, children who came here under the age of 18 or 16 years old, whatever age they use, who graduated high school here, they're going to be included. I assume farm workers, we are going to be included. If you work on a farm, you will probably get the amnesty. Essential workers, maybe. People who've just been here undocumented, maybe. Parents of dreamers, most likely. So if you have a child here, most likely, if they're included in the DREAM Act, I would find it hard to believe that they would give children of dreamers green cards and leave their parents out.
Right.
So I can imagine what it would be. I'm hoping it's going to be a blanket amnesty for everybody. That would be awesome. We'll see what happens. But it's a new ball game. If you asked me 24 hours ago, I was even said, I said, if I had to make a bet, no, I would lose.
Yeah.
I would have lost.
Optimism.
Yes. So it's $107 billion. There's a deadline of September 15th. We don't know who's going to be in and who's going to be out. All we know is one word. We have one sentence. It's $107 billion, and it's going to provide money for a pathway to millions and millions and millions of immigrant workers and their families.
There we go.
That's all we know so far. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.